Good morning. Welcome to today's yoga session. I'm coming to you live from Mauritius, which is a beautiful little island off the coast of Madagascar that I have the privilege to be here on for some time. And yeah, I just feel extremely lucky to be here and trying to get myself out into the nature a bit more, to absorb the beauty that this earth can offer. So today's practice is themed around grounding and rooting into what is already here to grow into what is to come. So I invite you to go ahead and lie down on your mat in a savasana. Just breathing in, filling the lungs, feeling the air filling up the belly, and exhaling, letting everything fall down into the ground. Inhaling, filling up the belly. One more, inhaling. Nice and deeply, exhaling, emptying everything out. On your next exhale, letting the chin fall to the right side of the room. And inhaling back to center. Exhale, rolling the head along the mat to the left side. Inhaling back to center. Alternating left and right with the head, following your breath. Beginning with our connection to the earth here. And on your next inhale, pressing both feet into the mat, we'll allow our knees to fall to the right side of the mat. On your exhale, inhale back to center, windshield wipering the knees, left, back to center, right. And you can begin to roll the head in the opposite direction, creating a bigger twist, a deeper isolation, and rotation of the spine to open up through movement. We'll take one more round of this, right and left. On your next exhale, placing both hands on the mat, allowing the knees to return to neutral. We will gently press the feet into the floor as we tuck the belly button down towards the mat and the sits bones up towards the sky. This is just an isolation of the lower back. We'll return to neutral. Exhale, tucking the belly, lifting the sits bones. Inhaling, returning to neutral. 3, pressing down through exhale, lifting the tailbone and returning to neutral. One more, pressing down, lifting the sits bones and returning to neutral. Now we'll take this a bit bigger. Exhale, pressing through the floor, lifting the hips up towards the sky, and then rolling vertebrae by vertebrae down back to the mat. 2, pressing through, lifting up. Inhale, rolling vertebrae by vertebrae, controlling with the glute muscles as we lower back down. 3, pressing, lifting up. Slowly lowering vertebrae by vertebrae down towards the mat. Pressing, lifting up one more time. And this time, as you lower down, thinking about sending the hips towards the heels. We lengthen our left leg long, bending our right knee in towards our chest, pulling that knee down towards us. Flexing that right foot and continuing to breathe, maybe massaging the hip right and left. Noticing the way the air feels on our skin today. Is there a bit of wind or maybe noise in the background? Left side, squeezing that left knee down in towards the chest and maybe massaging right and left. And then lengthening both legs long. Bending both knees into the chest, giving yourself a big hug. Lowering back down. And now placing the left foot down into the mat. We'll straighten our right leg up towards the sky, flexing that foot, bending the knee, and pressing open the right knee. Or if you're feeling nice and open in those hips today, we can use the two hands to scoop behind the back of the hamstring and flex both feet to pull our hips in towards our belly. Continuing to breathe, and if possible, relaxing those shoulders down towards the mat. Maybe massaging right and left, or staying here. And then we'll swap over to the other side, straightening up the legs, unwinding, swapping over, using the left knee open to the side and the right knee pressing towards your chest. Seeing if you can relax those shoulders anymore and pulling that knee in towards you. And then from here, straightening both feet up to the sky, we're just going to begin to engage the core a little bit, using the hands along the ears like we were wearing a set of headphones. We'll bend the right knee, bringing the left elbow to the knee, and engaging, lifting back up towards center. Other side, squeezing in through the core, controlling through the abdominals, not feeling a need to rush. Right. Inhale. Exhale, left. Inhale. 4 more. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. 2 more. Exhale. And then from here, grabbing the back of those hamstrings, just rocking and rolling up towards your seat. And then we'll transition forward into our tabletop position. As we arrive in our tabletop position today, I want us to think about rooting into the 4 points on our mat. We have our 2 knees and our 2 hands. From here, letting the belly drop, looking towards the front of the room or the front of the space. Exhale, pushing through the hands, inhaling, looking towards the belly button. Inhaling, dropping the belly, slowly looking towards the front of the room. Exhale, pushing towards the ground, lifting the belly button. Inhaling, lifting the eyes, gazing towards your front of your space. Exhale, pushing through those hands, tucking the belly button, lifting through the spine. From here, returning to neutral, we're just going to shift back into our child's pose for the first time of the day. A child's pose can be a place that we return to whenever we're feeling a bit of exhaustion or a bit of tiredness. We can come down towards our child's pose just to give us a moment to settle, to rest, to calm the mind, and then we can return back to whatever we've been doing. So here, pressing up, lifting, tucking the toes underneath. I'm going to close my notebook again. Lifting the hips up towards the sky. We're coming into our first downward facing dog of the day. From here, maybe you'd like to take some movement through this downward facing dog, pedaling through right and left, walking through the feet. Lifting our hips up towards the sky. We're thinking about rotating our armpits in towards one another and pressing away through the hands. Lifting the sits bones up towards the sky. So it's okay if your heels come off a little bit, but we want to think about dropping those down while lifting up through the sits bones. Really rooting down into the earth to press away. From here, we'll slowly walk 1 foot up at a time, coming up to our forward facing fold, maybe grabbing opposite elbows for this first forward fold of the day, and swinging gently right and left. Can you release the back of your neck anymore? And then slowly bending our knees, rolling up vertebrae by vertebrae, coming all the way up to our first Tadasana of the day. Tadasana is our mountain pose, and I invite you to think about your feet pressing, rooting down into the earth. Maybe rotating those hands to face the front of the room to open up through the shoulders. Inhaling, lifting those arms up over the head into our exhale, folding forward, forward facing fold. Inhaling, lifting up through the sternum, looking towards the front of the mat, stepping the hands down, stepping 1 foot back, then the other, and then we will slowly lower down towards the mat. Here, I invite you for your first one of the day, lower the knees down, then lowering the chest, elbows squeezing in towards the rib cage, and then pressing up, lifting through our upward facing dog, rolling those shoulders back, looking up towards the sky. From here, pressing back into your child's pose or your downward facing dog. From there, walking those feet back up, forward facing fold, bending the knees gently, inhaling to lift through the sternum, exhale to fold forward, half forward fold. Inhale, up to mountain pose, Tadasana. From here, we're making our way into, it's going to be fine. As we come up to standing, we're coming into our first flow of the day. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, forward facing fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, stepping or hopping back to our plank. Inhale, pressing through our chaturanga. Inhale, lifting up, upward facing dog. Exhale, pressing through, downward facing dog. From here, stepping our right leg up towards our hands, spiraling our heel down, rooting through that back heel. We lift up through our chest, rotating the fingers in towards one another, our Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Inhaling, rooting down through the foot, pressing up through the arms, maybe lifting the gaze up towards the sky a bit more. Inhaling, pressing up, opening through our Warrior facing 2. We exhale to melt down. Désolée pour le sac. Ici, here for the Virabhadrasana 2, I invite you to bring your gaze over your middle or ring finger of your front hand, softening this back hip down. Inhaling to stay, exhaling to deepen. We spiral our arms back, reverse those arms, pressing through the front hand, and then we spiral and rotate down towards the mat. Other side. Chaturanga, slowly inhaling to lift up through the upper body. Exhale, sending those hips up towards the sky. Now maybe stepping or hopping up towards the front of the mat, lifting those heels, bending the knees. Hop. Inhaling through the front of the body. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Tadasana. Now we will go to the other side. I have gone ahead and turned around for me, for my practice today. To let you be able to see a little bit better, we will inhale, lifting both arms up to the sky. Exhale, folding forwards at those hips. Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, we have a nice little puppy, stepping or hopping back towards our plank, and then flowing through our chaturanga, squeezing those elbows in, lifting the chest up towards the sky, sending those hips up towards the sky, downward facing dog. From here, this time we will step our left foot up towards the sky. Hi, puppy. Into our warrior one. From here, la, the wind is getting me today, rooting that heel down towards the mat. If possible, squaring those hips in towards the front. We think about rotating the fingertips in towards one another and breathing here. From here, pressing through our front leg to stand, to rotate open into our warrior facing two. Exhaling to deepen, inhaling to stay strong. We try and relax this back shoulder, maybe roll through both. Gazing over that ring, middle or ring finger. From here, you reach forward to send back, straightening up through that front leg and spiraling down towards our mat, stepping or hopping back to our plank. Chaturanga, sending those hips up towards the sky. From here, stepping or hopping those feet up towards the front of the mat. Inhaling, half lift. Exhaling, forward facing fold. Inhaling, all the way up, mountain pose. This time we're gonna flow through both sides facing this direction. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward facing fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, stepping or hopping back towards our plank, flowing through our vinyasa, engaging those arms, lifting up through our chest. Tucking the toes, sending the hips high to the sky, pedaling through downward facing dog. From here, sending the right leg up to the sky this time to step it forwards into our warrior facing one or our crescent pose. Pressing up, opening up, warrior facing two. This time reversing the arms, keeping those legs nice and low. And then we windmill into our extended side angle, either placing our hand on the inside or our elbow on our knee, rotating, peeling open that top arm. From here, inhaling to stay, exhale to deepen that bottom hip. If possible, rotate through that upper shoulder. One more breath. Inhaling, windmill those arms up and back down, spiraling through, stepping through. Right foot meets the left. We flow through our chaturanga. Tucking those toes, sending the hips up high to the sky. From here, we send our left leg up towards the sky, stepping the foot towards the front of the room, spiraling that heel back down. Warrior one. From here, pressing through that front leg, opening up, warrior facing two. Dropping that back shoulder, dropping that back hip, letting the outside of the foot soften down towards the mat. We reach forward, we windmill back, but we keep our legs this time where they are. And then we rotate through our extended side angle. Taking a couple breaths here, rooting down through the feet to open up through the shoulder. Dropping that shoulder away from the ear. And then from here, windmilling all the way up to standing. Exhale all the way down towards our mat, stepping back plank. Flowing through our chaturanga, lifting up. Sending the hips back to a child's pose this time. From here, tucking our toes, sending our hips up to the sky. Maybe this time playing with a hop again, lifting those heels, bending the knees. Hop. Inhaling, lifting through the chest. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale all the way up to standing Tadasana, mountain pose. Today, I think it would be really nice to play a little bit with our balance. I would like to play with a tree pose or a dancer pose. So I will walk you through both and then we can go from there. We'll start by rooting one foot into the earth, lifting up through our arms. Sending our weight into our one foot, we will lift the heel of the other foot and then placing that foot either up on our shin or the inner thigh, pressing in through the feet, opening up through this hip, pressing both hands into one another. As we stand, rooting through that bottom foot, opening up through the shoulders, maybe sending the arms up to the sky, and maybe letting them blow like the branches on a tree. Or just staying nice and tall, rooting to rise, thinking about grounding to lift. And then bringing our hands in towards our chest, closing that knee off, stepping the foot down. Other side, sending our weight into our right foot. We'll lift the heel of our left foot up. And then lifting that foot up towards our shin, or our inner thigh. We just want to avoid pressing it straight into our knee. But with that press in towards the midline, we press our hands as well, opening up through the shoulders, rooting down through the bottom foot. From here, lifting up maybe rotating through the wrist this time. Standing nice and tall. And then as we release, bringing that knee back towards the front as we soften back down. We'll now work our way into our dancer pose. So I invite you to face a new direction now, just for a new scene, new moment. From here, we'll lift both arms up towards the sky. And then what I'm going to invite you to do is find your balance on one leg first. From there, we send our heel back up towards our glute and we grab the inside of the ankle. Keep lifting up through this hand. We lift up to press in. Lift up to press in, and slowly we kick more into that foot, reaching towards the front of our space. Kicking to lift, pressing through this bottom foot. You can maybe take a mudra with your hands. Woo, maybe you fall over, it's okay. It's about play, right? So we maybe take a mudra through through those hands just to bind our energy, to control, to concentrate. And we send out through our hands, gaze towards the front of the space. And when you want to come down, whew, I'm wobbly today, you inhale and you come back to center. We go to the other side, shifting the weight into this right leg now. And we lift our foot. We grab through the inside of that ankle, sending the arm up towards the sky, lifting to kick. Lifting to kick, lifting to kick, lifting to kick, lifting to kick, lifting to kick. Keeping that chest nice and tall, maybe bringing that mudra. And breathing here. And then slowly, wherever you are, lifting back up, controlling through the descent, lowering those hands down. From here, we're going to make our way down towards our mat. I'm going to make my way through a malasana squat, which is really nice for the hips, but it's up to you if you would like to take a different one. Inhaling, lifting through both arms. Exhaling, we root through our Tadasana pose one more time. Now just taking your feet a little bit wider. If you're facing the other way on your mat, I invite you to bring your feet to the edges of your mat. And from here, we'll lift up. Exhale, sitting through the hips, lowering down nice and slowly, opening those knees. As you arrive, maybe you want to place a block underneath your hips, or even rolling up your mat and placing it underneath your heels. Your heels don't need to touch here, but what we do want to think about is pressing through the knees with the elbows and lifting up through the chest. Thinking about the crown of the head being pulled up towards the sky. Inhaling here and exhaling, giving your body a few breaths to settle into this posture. And then maybe taking the left hand down towards the mat, spiraling open the top shoulder. We look up towards the top hand. And then softening back down, other side. Right hand down towards the mat, opening up through the top shoulder. And then from there, we close off We wiggle our way down towards our mat, sending the hips up towards one side. I invite you to come down to a seat. From here, we're going to come into some forward facing folds. So, doing anything you need to set yourself up. We're going to bring our right knee in towards our chest and allow the right knee to fall open towards the side. Inhaling, we'll send both arms up towards the sky. Inhaling to lift up tall. Exhale to fold over that front leg. Here, I want us to think about lifting through our spine before we fold over. So preventing any rounding in the spine, we just think about lifting and then gently walking our hands forward. If you start to feel any of this happening, walk your hands back just a little bit, lift through the chest, and then maybe from there you can drop the head. Continuing to breathe here, opening up through the lower body, through the back of the body. Taking one more breath wherever you are. Thinking about squaring both hips, both shoulders towards the front of the room, not opening up to the side, but squaring off. And then from there, walking our hands back up. We bring this knee back up to close and kick it out in front of us. Changing to the other side now, we bring our left knee in towards our chest, allowing the knee to fall open. We sit up nice and tall. Inhale to lift, exhale to fold forward, maybe this time closing our eyes. Tuning into our surroundings, if there's any wind, any noise, maybe a new feeling in the body as we continue to work through our practice of the day. And then wherever you are, I invite you to take one more inhale, lengthening out through the back of the body one more time as we sit up to come back into center, bringing that knee in towards our chest. This time we'll have both legs long out in front of us, maybe removing any skin from underneath the sits bones, any fleshy bits. Inhaling, sitting up through both sits bones, nice and tall. Exhale, folding forward, hinging at the hips. Flexing through both feet to get a more intense stretch. And continuing to breathe here. Maybe closing those eyes to really tune into what's happening inside. And then slowly we'll lift through the chest, walking back towards our seat. From here, we're going to take a little butterfly stretch just for a moment, allowing both knees to fall open. We bring both soles of our feet in towards one another, and we're just going to sit up nice and tall. From here, I'm going to invite you to send your both arms up towards the sky. I'm going to face you for this one. So sitting up nice and tall. You want to find that place where your feet are out in front of you, but you're not sitting up so close to your feet that you're falling over. We bring both arms up towards the sky. We bring our left hand behind us and our right hand to our left knee, spiraling open through the body, sitting up tall, pressing through that hand to open up towards the back of the room, maybe bringing that gaze towards the back of the room. And then spiraling open through the chest, you can press through that back hand to open up a bit deeper. Maybe bringing the gaze a bit deeper behind us. And then slowly rotating that head back towards the center, keeping the twist of the spine, dropping that chin towards our shoulder. From there, spiraling the arm open, we rotate through the other side. Inhale up. Exhale, twisting to the other side, pressing in through that back hand to create a deeper twist. You can see a little crab from here. And then from there, we rotate back towards center. We bring both hands behind us, sending our hips up towards the sky, just to open up through the shoulders. And then from there, today we're going to make a quicker close of our practice. But I invite you, if you have any extra time, to really take your time here. We're going to roll our way down towards our mat. Ooh. Softening down onto our back. Vertebrae by vertebrae. We can bring both knees in towards our chest and maybe up towards the sky. And then from here, grabbing either your big toe, the outside of your feet, or your shins, we'll come into our happy baby. Maybe staying here, maybe rocking side to side. And then from there, lengthening both legs long out in front of us. We'll bring both feet into our sits bones. Pressing up through the hips again, one more time, into our bridge pose. From there, we're pressing through both feet, lifting the sits bones up towards the sky. We slowly lower vertebrae by vertebrae, softening the hips back down, but pulling our hips down towards our feet. Now, taking our back bend series, maybe you'd like to place your hands underneath your ears, towards fingertips facing towards our shoulders for our wheel pose, or maybe you'd like to bring the same bridge, but this time interlacing your hands beneath you for a deeper shoulder opening, so we can press up through the mat, wiggling those shoulders underneath and interlacing the fingertips here. Or if you'd like to take the other variation, we'll bring both hands up towards our ears, fingertips facing towards our shoulders, pressing in through both feet and hands equally. We lift up towards the sky, pressing through the mat, opening through the belly. Seeing if possible to continue opening through the shoulders. And wherever you are, whenever you do this, you want to tuck your chin to your chest before you come down. Softening back down towards the mat. And then maybe taking a reverse inversion, we can send our legs up to the sky for a shoulder stand or a plow or any other variation you'd like to take here. I'll take shoulder stand today, so sending both feet up towards the sky. We engage the abdominals, lifting the hips, keeping our neck nice and line, chin towards our chest, sending energy up through the feet. Maybe playing with flexing the feet, lowering one foot down at a time, then the other, and then maybe both into our plow, and then slowly rolling down vertebrae by vertebrae and engaging the core. It was not as controlled for me as I like to be, but it's okay. And relaxing down into our mat. We straighten our legs out in front of us for our Shavasana. I will guide us through a little bit of a meditation here, and I invite you to just stay. Wherever you are, we're going to roll over to one side, slowly taking your time, coming into our fetal pose. Then pressing in through both hands, we'll come up to our seat. I'm nice and sandy. Just a comfortable seat, sitting up nice and tall. We can allow the hands to rest on our knees. we will close our practice. So I invite you to just send an inhale up through those arms, lifting up through the body. Hands coming into our prayer of Anjali, Mudra of Anjali. And we bring our thumbs to our forehead for kind thoughts, our thumbs to our lips for kind words, and our thumbs to our chest for kind intentions. Thank you for practicing with me today, and I hope you have a lovely 2026. Namaste. Light in me honors the light in you.